Okay, is anyone here? Are we actually live? Yes. Check Twitch. Ah, look, I am actually here. Oh no. It's going to be a very, very short one. I just fancy showing you what I've done. But I've been working quite hard on the spline system. And basically the aim is to make it a hell of a lot faster than OMSI's. Like enormously faster. That's the baseline objective. Is not to have to type in numbers, enter. Nope, not quite right. Type in numbers, enter. Nope, not quite right. So, yeah. Splines. So yeah, the general system is that you make a spline like that. Like that's the general idea. So hopefully you can see that that is significantly quicker. And then the thing I've been working on, which doesn't quite work all the time yet, but is getting closer, is connections. So one thing that you can do with this that you can't do with OMSI's system is you can join together two sections that aren't aligned like that. So in OMSI the only kind that you can connect is where, if you imagine there's a straight line sticking out between these, if those two cross, then they connect. So that's the situation that you can connect them in OMSI. But in mine, they don't have to be crossing, so they can be going off in completely separate directions like that. And it can still join them together. Which took a lot of maths. Like, Jesus Christ, that took a lot of maths. It's only like a couple dozen lines of code, but it took so long to work out. Like, so long. Right, here it is. Like, this is it. This took me, like, over a day to get sorted out. In fact, it's not that, it's this. Oh yeah, obviously. There you go. Come on, Visual Studio, cooperate. There we go. Like, this took me a couple of days just because of the maths behind it all. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. There's still some glitches in it, so if you try doing something like this, for instance, it can't quite work out what to do there, so it makes a second extra loop. And there's a couple of situations where it breaks. The one which it really can't account for at the moment is this situation. It has no idea what to do there. So I need to introduce another special case for it to work like that. Also, I might as well show this off. These road surfaces are just the road surfaces that I made for Farthington, but I just gave them some bump maps, or normal maps rather, and some specular maps. So now when you look into the sun, the worn bits of the road are reflective, which I think is quite nice. I mean, obviously this is just a quick test set of materials, but you know, it's quite nice. The other thing that I've got worked out is that when you stick something on a slope like this, it picks up the gradient of the end of it off the slope, which should make it a hell of a lot faster to build things on slopes than it is in OMSI. Like, if you have any experience with trying to build roads on slopes in OMSI, it is it's trying. Yeah, this should give you another good view of the specular mapping and the normal mapping. You can see that it's slightly coarse. I mean, obviously the texture's a bit too low res, but you know, because I'm just used to OMSI texture requirements and 4 gigs of RAM. I'm not used to building things that are like made for modern computers. But yeah, that's the spline system. It can work out some pretty complicated stuff. And it's very fast to... oh, I got that wrong. I wonder why it got that wrong. Curious. I might have found a case where it doesn't work. It worked on that one. I wonder what happened there. Huh. Clearly there's another case here, another special case that I haven't accounted for. Oh well, I'll look into that. But yeah, that's the spline system. As it is so far, that's taken me a couple of days. And let's just go for the quick reminder. Thank you for the whatever that was. Oh, follow. Thank you. Just checking. I am streaming this on my own channel and not the Fellas Film channel, aren't I? I'm pretty sure I am. But yeah, I've made some changes to the weather. So you might remember previously the fog was nuclear, but now it's just sort of nicely, well, foggy. Bit gloomy, bit dark, bit foggy. Which I'm very happy with. And thank you. Excellent, I haven't messed up then. It would seem a bit wrong to commandeer the official YouTube Twitch channel for my own stuff. But yeah. But yeah, this is where I'm at. But yeah, I can show you some of the if you haven't seen this before, I can show you some of the movement tools and stuff that I've got going on. And you can also scale stuff. So if you want a slightly bigger building, you can scale it up and down. Which I've been finding is actually quite useful. And then trees, you might notice they're gently rustling. Which is a thing that the bus does as well. And PBR materials and all that shebang. But yeah. And all of this is the big difference between what I'm doing and what the bus is doing. All of this is being saved to files on disk. So like this is the map file. So unlike the bus where everything is compiled down into a Unity specific format, there we go. It's all just human readable text files that are configuring all of this, and I can make changes to it, and yeah. And we've got terrain painting, obviously, and I'm quite pleased with the terrain painting because if you look at the way that this merges the two together, it actually raises them. It's called height map blending. So based on the height of these two different terrain materials, like one of them's poking up through the top of the other instead of just overwriting it or blurring them into each other. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, and obviously there's terrain sculpting, though at the moment that's in the middle of being redone slightly so you can have various different brush types. Yeah. And we've got volumetric clouds, or if you prefer them, you can have flat clouds, which look kind of better in some situations, worse in others. But you can just choose which ones you like and use those ones. The volume ones are generally prettier, I reckon. Or you can just have traditional particle clouds, which look a bit meh, honestly. And there's weather conditions. And that kind of stuff, and obviously you can add tiles to things and make extra map to build stuff on, and add more trees and paint grass. This is the thing. You can paint grass on the terrain just like that. There's a small problem with this grass at the moment. I'm not quite sure where it's come from, but when you look at it at a distance, it kind of seems to get these black speckles in it, which just looks a bit odd, and I don't really like it, so I need to work out what's causing that. And then there's trees, 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 trees. So yeah, you can make quite a pretty scene quite quickly. So let's just make a small forest. So let's paint some grass on, stuff some of those trees in, stuff some of these trees in. And then let's switch to the, I think it's the black cherry that I like. Yep. And just put some bushes around the base of the trees. And then let's, we can't sculpt the terrain just at the moment because I've been working on that and it doesn't work quite right now. But yeah, and then you have a scene like this. So if nothing else, like even while it isn't a bus simulator at the moment, it is a nice pretty scene building simulator. So you can very easily make little like scenes like this very, very quickly. And I'm very happy with that. Now yeah, I'll definitely have to have a walking around element to it, so you can just like go for a walk through a forest if you want to. Thank you. It's been a lot of work, but it's getting somewhere. These LODs are popping in and out a bit aggressively at the moment. I haven't configured them to smoothly fade in and out between the LODs, so at the moment they just pop in quite aggressively, which is a bit nasty looking, but I'm sure I can work that one out pretty easily. But yeah, and then obviously once you've got your little scene like this, we can have a look at it at a different time of day, so we can have a look at it at sunset for instance. So we've got the nice long shadows going on. And we can make it foggy. Look at that. That's quite pretty. Yeah. And we can also change the latitude and longitude of the map. So let's just change it to 0, 0. So now we're on the equator, and now the sun is in a different place at that time of day. And if we put it back to about where we really are, then the sun moves over there, because it's a different time of day in this part of the world. And then there's nighttime, which has stars and things, which you can't really see right now. Have I messed up the star box slightly? Where's the moon gone? No, you can just about see the stars. Hang on, let me just... It might not be very visible on stream for you. There you go. You probably still can't see them. No, I think I've messed something up there. Anyway, that's what I've got so far. Just some building tools and stuff like that. The next thing I want to do once I'm done with the spline system is finally get working vehicles in. Like basically I need to polish off what I was doing with the splines and just actually start working on the vehicle system and the vehicle tools. I mean, I can show you, the other thing I can show you really quickly is the content tools, which are not quite, I mean they're obviously nowhere near like done, but everything's going to have a content tool, so you can load stuff in and yeah, make stuff with modding tools, which should be pretty simple. But yeah, anyway, that is definitely enough streaming for me for now though. Yeah, that was the bus over on Fellows Films channel. This is my sim over here. I was trying to come up with a funny third thing to say.